Hello, it has come to my attention that Rocor bishops are considering canonizing Father Seraphim Rose, and in this video I want to explain why I do not believe that Father Seraphim Rose is a saint. First, I think a case could be made that he was deluded in prelest because he did not take care of his beard. Second, while I do believe he was pious, I do not believe he was holy for the following reason. I believe that the last day of his life reflected his spiritual status. When he was on his deathbed, he said to Father Herman, quote, "I'm finished with you, damn you," end quote. I do not believe a holy person and a saint would have spoken this way to someone, especially to a priest. Father Herman was a priest. I believe all holy people are pious, but not all pious people are holy. Third, I'm acquainted with a family of Seventh-day Adventists who had property near the monastery in Platina and were acquainted with Father Seraphim and Father Herman. I was told by a member of this family that Father Seraphim and Father Herman attended a Thanksgiving vegan meal with them. Okay, there are Orthodox canons that prohibit certain forms of fellowship with heretics, including feasting together in a religious context. Canon 37 of the Council of Laodicea states, quote, "It is not lawful to receive portions sent from the feasts of Jews or heretics, nor to feast together with them," end quote. While Canon 39 says, quote, "It is not lawful to feast together with the heathen and to be partakers of their godlessness," end quote. Canon 33 of Laodicea also forbids praying with heretics or schismatics, and Apostolic Canon 45 prohibits clergy from praying with heretics. Historically, these canons were aimed primarily at preventing religious communion, participation in heterodox worship, or actions implying doctrinal unity, rather than banning every ordinary social interaction with non-Orthodox people. Thus, a monk casually eating with a non-Orthodox person in a non-religious setting is not necessarily what the canons were condemning, though interpretation and application depend on the Orthodox canonical tradition and the judgment of church authorities. And if I'm mistaken here in any way, I apologize. Now, someone may assert that I'm misunderstanding these canons, or I don't understand these canons or something, but rather than make an assertion, you need to give an argument. You'll need to explain. You'll need to show how I am misunderstanding these canons rather than asserting it. Okay, I'm speaking hypothetically. If in the event someone claims that I'm not understanding these canons, they need to give an argument showing this. Okay. Further, I believe that a lot of people may be caught up on Father Seraphim's appearance. He looked good as an Orthodox Christian priest monk. I believe that human nature causes people to focus on externals, and I believe that we live in a superficial and shallow society where appearance and externals are emphasized. However, I believe that had Father Seraphim looked like the man in this AI image — this is not a real person, it's an AI image — we would not be hearing so much about him. I also believe that Orthodox Christians have a tendency to exaggerate the virtues and or activities of people they admire. For example, I think the back of the book Orthodoxy and the Religion of the Future exaggerates. It states that Father Seraphim dedicated his life to reawakening modern Western man to forgotten spiritual truths. First of all, these truths were never forgotten. Second, Father Seraphim was only a monk for around 14 years, if I'm correct. If I'm mistaken, I apologize. He lived most of his life as a non-Orthodox person and was actually quite immoral as a non-Orthodox person. So I think the claim on the book is overstated and exaggerated. It also claims that Father Seraphim's writings have reached millions throughout the world. I wonder how they know this. Who did the count? And who surveyed the world in order to make this determination? It says that his books, Orthodoxy and the Religion of the Future and The Soul After Death, have changed countless lives. Countless literally means too many to count. In reality, the number of people influenced by any book is finite, even if it is very large. Unless there's evidence that an unmeasurable number of people were changed by the book, I would say that the statement is generally rhetorical language intended to emphasize the book's impact rather than a precise factual claim. And if it turns out that Father Seraphim's body is incorrupt, I will remove this video.